talking about.
Welcome back to Joe Doesn't Know What He's Talking About episode of the Careful Boys, where Joe's going to be talking about how he just did a 72-hour fast.
Oh, man. Wow.
Dude, you know how bad, like, my fantasy mind is? I thought I already did it. That's why I was like, I could do this. And then I looked back, and I only did a 48 before.
Whoa. 48's crazy, too.
48 said, let's talk about me doing a 72-hour fast. You haven't done a 72-hour
No, I did it. I did a...
Oh, yeah. That's why I got nervous, too.
I'm talking about... I did a 72-hour, but the reason why it was so easy in my mind that I can do this is because I told myself I've done this before.
Oh, but you hadn't.
I haven't.
You just thought you did.
I just thought I did because during COVID I did a 48.
So what day did it start getting hard?
The third day. 24 to 48.
Really?
So, okay, so backtrack to why I did this is because I started getting fucking bloat like crazy. Like, and both me and Hannah think we had like a stomach flu or something. And then I just started researching like how to heal the gut, whatever. And then fasting just kept coming up.
You guys got the bloat together?
Yeah, around the same time.
Damn, what did you eat? Do you
But
remember?
then, I don't know, but we started eating hella pizza and bread again. So that could be it. I could be like, well, I mean, I grew up with a lot of autoimmune issues, from eczema to IBS to whatever. So now we have so many new like things coming out about how diet can affect this. I knew it was diet because I knew like if I had dairy, if I had whatever, it would flare up my shit.
Yep.
But no one used the word like insulin resistance. They didn't use the, inflammation, gluten. Like, we didn't really know those things, right? Back then it was like, I'm allergic. That's what you thought. Oh, I get skin conditions when I have dairy. I can't have dairy, right?
Yeah.
So then now there's way more studies coming out. And then there's people saying like, yo, I went vegan. I went carnivore. And then I healed myself. I did this, whatever, right? So back then, I think it was like not common. Mm-hmm. And what people did is they did steroids and then they did injections.
To heal the allergies?
Yeah, that was the common thing. Like if you ever had any skin conditions, they just give you a steroid cream.
Oh, yeah, it just calms it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then what ends up happening is if you're not using a steroid cream, it just comes right back out.
For sure.
Sometimes worse, too.
Yeah, 'cause you're not changing.
Comes back better?
You're not changing how you eat. You're not changing how, like, whatever. So anyways, like, now I think the trend is you try to do an elimination whole food diet, right? So you go either, like, all plant-based or you go, like, carnivore. 30. Yeah, that's
There's, like, one of them, yeah.
And then there's
Whole 30.
What is that?
just Whole Foods for 30
You can
days.
follow, yeah.
Oh.
Of just Whole Foods.
30 days. Yeah, got it.
Like no processed shit, just straight from the earth type of
Yeah,
shit?
so Whole Foods is just, like, any, like, fish, beef, chicken, animal, right?
Uh-huh.
If it walks, if it flies, if it swims, you're good to eat it.
Or, like, plants that are, like fruit.
Yep.
Like, that's it.
Fruit,
That
veg.
will expire in 3 days.
Yeah.
No bread, no spaghetti, no rice, because those things are like things that you have to cook.
You have
and
to
make.
make. Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So natural stuff. And then so, but somehow I landed upon fasting,
Okay.
and then basically this scientist figured out that your cells start to heal, repair, and regenerate, and it's called autophagy.
What does that mean?
It's like
your cells start to repair, regenerate. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like your cells coming in and cleaning up and eating all the old dead ones and
It's like
stuff.
maintenance
Because
work.
to me, like, how is that possible? I guess because I don't understand it. That's why I'm asking. So it's like, it's regenerating from what?
Well, it's like your body first goes into shock,
Yeah.
and then it realizes something's wrong, so it kicks into a gear of self-healing.
Okay.
Because
I
it's
see.
Where's my usual daily intake
yeah,
of
yeah,
bullshit? And then it realizes, wait a minute, like I'm stressed out. So then it kicks into a high gear to start first ridding itself of the bad stuff. And then once it goes into a situation where it's like there's nothing to eat, the stored fats of your body starts eating at that. And then when there's like less stored fats and stuff like that, it goes like, okay, I need to repair certain things from the dead cells and the waste that just got kicked out.
I see.
But you could also get to autophagy just by in a caloric deficit too.
Okay.
So yeah, but the guaranteed way of doing it is fasting. So
Okay,
like,
got it.
because like if you don't do it well, like 'cause Okay, so going back to how that gets kicked in is the way the body works is there's glucose, glycogen, and then fat, right? So the energy of what your body uses is sugar and then fat. But it first likes to burn the sugar before the fat.
Okay.
Yeah, so the reason why we have fat is this is stored energy for the winters, for the times that we don't have food. And natural humans, we didn't eat 3 meals a day every single day. We would go out there, we'll kill a fucking buffalo, we would binge eat, we would get full, maybe we would dry some meat, but maybe for a couple of days we don't eat.
And even to find the food, you have to walk your ass or
Exactly.
like.
It takes calories.
Yeah.
And then so I was like, well, if we don't eat, we're gonna starve to death. Like, this is dangerous, this is scary, right? But what I found out is that they're like, well, in the wild, right? Does it make sense for you to lose muscle when you're actually hungry? You have to retain the muscle. So they found out that the 72 hour is when it starts metabolizing protein. Prior to that, it'll just metabolize fat. And it might be bits of protein, but it's still not drastic enough to where you start losing your muscle fiber, like, and it doesn't cannibalize the muscle just yet. So you can go on a water fast for those amount, and then after that, then it's gonna start going and looking for more things because it's hungry. And then, so in the wild, it's like, hey, you need those days of maintaining those muscles because you need that to catch your prey. Because you can't be weak and frail, you're not gonna catch your prey.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh shit. So then that's the study that they came out with. Now let's go back to the healing part, right? So like, one thing in our modern diet, like beer, soda, sugar, carbohydrates, we produce what's called visceral fat. So there's subcutaneous fat, which is on top of your abs. Visceral fat is under the abs.
Okay.
And then so I was like trying to pinch around, and I'm like, actually, I'm not like flabby fat. This bloatedness is probably like carb and insulin. I mean, visceral fat.
I see.
Visceral fat grows under your abs,
Yeah.
and it pushes your
Around your
organs.
organs too.
Ooh.
You get fatty liver, you get fatty, and that's
Damn.
what causes
The
a lot of
problems,
health problems called insulin resistance and all that. And then so I was like, okay, well, hey, I want to repair my gut. I want to try to lose like some visceral fat. Let's just go for this and see what happens.
Damn.
And then so that was the whole like reason for trying it. But the first 24 hours was pretty easy because I already do intermittent fasting. But from 24 to 48, I woke up on the next day, and I doom scrolled food content for 7 hours straight.
Wait, what?
That's like the worst thing to do.
It'll make me hungry.
You're like, what's the hardest thing I could do right now?
That's like, I'm gonna go abstinent and I'm gonna watch porn for 7 hours.
But I'm not gonna even touch myself.
Not even touch it.
That's
So
zen. That's
so
zen.
I'm also working up to a 72-hour fast as well. First I started intermittent fasting, then I did a 24-hour fast, then I did a 36-hour fast, and my last fast was 41 hours.
Whoa.
And actually this week or after like Sunday, I'm gonna go for 48, or if I'm feeling good, I might push to 72 as well.
Yeah.
For the same reasons. The studies will go as far as saying that, like, you know, if you fast for even beyond 72 hours where you're not worrying about like losing muscle mass, like you can start really eating at your cancer cells, and it can reduce your likelihood of getting cancer by 60 to 70% if you can push the 5-day mark.
Whoa.
Yeah, so it's like and again, I'm sure there are counter studies that might show that there are cons to this as well, especially if you're not like up to it or worked up to it. But if you stay in autophagy for a long enough period of time, like there have been studies that show really reasonable benefits if you can endure it. And ironically for me, my first 24 hours was the hardest part because I'm used to intaking fuel. And then once I passed the 24 hour and it was like I'm like past the hunger and like the stomach growling and all that stuff, and then going to sleep that second night, the next day I wasn't really thinking about
Sleeping on an empty stomach is so fucking
That's
hard.
brutal.
it. The first night.
So your second day was easier, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people say when they do like the 3-day fast. It's like the first one's the hardest.
Yeah, the first one's hardest because if you're just used to 3 meals a day and then suddenly you have 0 meals, you're like, what's happening?
Even when I skip one meal is hard.
I notice on days where I'm just working a lot and I don't eat as much, sometimes I feel like a lot of my skin conditions like just clear up on their own because I'm in work mode and I'm just just exercising, working out, and then working, and then what I eat, because I'm not eating as much, I'm also not eating as much bad stuff because normally I eat like noodles, rice, like I eat carbs, I eat all this type of shit.
And then you feel pretty tired afterwards.
Not really. I feel normal actually. There's been days where I just snack on things because I just don't have time to eat. And those are the days, even though I'm working and I should be stressed out, I actually feel pretty normal. So to me, when people are like, oh, you don't eat enough, it's like, sometimes I feel like I don't need to eat that much though. So I already feel like I'm at the point where like, I could live off of one meal a day for sure. But I don't know, because I also hear the thing where it's like, oh, you're not getting enough nutrients, you're not this and this and that. But I'm like, how much of it do you really need? And is it a person by person case, you know?
Well,
Depends on what you're trying to do, though,
you're gonna
right?
definitely need minerals. So the several times that I failed, one, it's I didn't go into keto before the fast. That's a huge one. So do you know what hypoglycemia is?
Yeah.
So it's like
You need sugar, right?
yes, but then I think it's the sudden disappearance of it that causes it. So like
Because you've had a consistent intake of sugar.
yeah, so if your body's dependent on it, then the sudden drop the next day is what makes you go into that mode.
Yeah, like don't fast right after Krispy Kremes.
Yeah.
I don't, yeah.
So then there's two phases, right? So like you get when you're glucose, you're burning the sugar.
Yep.
When you're burning fat, that's called ketosis.
Okay.
So then what I found out is that when I prepare 2 days before and I'm already in ketosis, which means you only eat protein and fats, then it makes it so much easier to go into the 3 days. So what you might be, try that first.
To go into
Get the ketosis strips, so you pee
To
and you know
test.
what level you're in.
Oh, I want to try that.
Yeah.
shit.
Ketosis strips.
Yeah.
That's how you actually know if you're in ketosis. Like people that
That's
are
the only way.
Just do a pregnancy test.
You're like,
You're pregnant.
people will say like, oh, I'm on keto or whatever. But if you're not in ketosis, you can't really guarantee you're actually getting the benefits of being on the keto diet. So they have strips or they have like little blood tests or whatever.
Dude, I started meal prepping. So after all that stuff, I wrote down what I'm gonna eat for this whole week to reward myself. But it was all healthy shit.
What you mean?
So I made beef stew. So like I was like thinking like, well, I don't want to go full on carbs yet because I'm gonna save that for JK.
That's good. That's
Smart,
good.
smart.
So it's like-
smart. That's why we doing burgers, baby. Come on.
See, I already have my head planned around it.
JK is literally my death days.
Well, it's good. It's good that you did that because I think a lot of times when people do the fasts, is they swing this way and then they swing this way and then they swing this way.
Yeah.
Versus
Yeah.
I think the studies show you actually get all the same autophagy benefits just by being a caloric deficit. So just stay in the middle. And if you just ride that, you're gonna have all the same benefits without having to go risk losing muscle mass, risk hypoglycemia, going back and forth like crazy.
Yeah, because
My
that's
whole goal was like get back on track with having enough protein, maybe even over, just in case I did skip 3 days, right?
Yeah.
So then at least that part is covered and create meals. And then if I want a sweet treat or whatever, I have to make it. That was my rule. So I made mango sticky rice. That was my first,
And that's still healthy. You know?
Yeah, and I get to control how much sugar goes in.
You made mango sticky rice with the gluttonous rice?
Sticky rice.
Boy, that sounds good. With the coconut cream?
Yo, baby.
So, okay, I have a question. So, what was it? Autophagy? Is that what the state was? So, once you reach that state, do you still have to keep fasting here and there to maintain that state? Or is it a state that you just reach just for this couple weeks and then you can go back to like normal just to reset?
Well, if you're in a caloric deficit, it does come on and off. But it's like, it might be 20 minutes. You know, it's not like the whole time. But when you're in a fasted state, it's like a longer period of that. So like, let's say like you haven't, maybe you're intermittent fasting and you didn't plan on, so you're editing, you're in the zone, you forgot to eat.
Yeah.
You might even be in that stage, but it might be for 10 minutes. So your body's gotta go through the phases. It's like when you sleep, right? You have a deep sleep or like REM sleep,
Yeah.
right? You go through those cycles.
Yeah, I wonder how frequently or what's like a good pace of having it daily, you know?
Well,
I don't
there's
know.
actually a lot of different fasting like plans, if you will, or like types of ways. Like for example, there's the intermittent fasting way, where they break it down to like 12 and 12 or whatever the fuck, right? You like fast for like 12,
Like
or there's like 16,
16,
8, and then there's like 20 and 4, or there's even like on and off days in the week where it's like you eat for like 3 days, like every other day, and then 2 days you fast and like whatever. Then you got like the Mark Wahlberg shit where you like eat whatever the fuck you want crazy for 2 days, like hella to get your calories in. Then you do like 2 days of intermittent fasting. Then you do a full day of fasting, and then you like reset with whatever. Like
That's probably that's a little crazy, probably.
yeah, there's like there's different ways that people just find it. A lot of it comes to your mental comfort too, and your discipline and fortitude.
Yeah.
So like if you have an inconsistent lifestyle, then it's like probably hard to do something like intermittent fasting. But if you have a really consistent lifestyle, then you can like pick a plan that you're not, because you also can't be like hating yourself while you do it, because you won't be able to do it for a long time.
That's the key right there. That's the
Consistency is like the most important thing.
hating yourself while you do it.
Yeah.
If you don't hate yourself while you do it, you won't get abs. That's what they say. No, but Anthony's right though. Like half the time, it's like there's so many different protocols you could do to achieve the same goal.
Right.
But at the end of the day, the base, most fundamental layer is like, how does it match with your lifestyle, and how consistent can you get with it? Especially if your goal is to achieve this autophagy.
Dang, because what I'm afraid of is if I want to fast for the health benefits but not to lose weight, because I know a lot of people fast
Just to
So a lot of people, they do it in phases, right? It's like what Joe's doing. Like he's like, I've been wilding out. I gotta chill out for a little bit. Let me just ramp up into this fast for 72 hours. Now I'm good. Now I can go back to normal eating and kind of like maintaining my calories at a certain amount. Because even while you're trying to lose weight or gain weight, you're not gonna be doing it forever. It's like phases. Like you do have to kind of like go up and down a little bit. So
Yeah, I'll do it in a way that makes sense for me because I want to enjoy the fuck out of my life. I just came back from Korea. I eat like crazy.
Yeah.
So you're trying to counterbalance that.
Yeah, so I'm counterbalancing that
He's being a good boy.
in the same way that you preemptively do it. Like you'll post on your IG stories, you're like, I'm eating healthy right now because this weekend I'm gonna go off.
Yeah, I do it first.
yeah.
And for me, it was like a healing thing.
See, that's
So it's all
Sure.
based depending on, everyone has different goals, right? Everyone has a different, so you have to figure out what you're trying to get to. Because I know gaining weight for you is really important.
And also, I'm overweight. You're underweight.
Yeah.
So like, it might not work. Well, not I don't. Because
I-
if you have a low body fat percentage, right, and then like if I'm like between 25 and 30 or whatever it is, then I have a lot of fat to go.
But that also means you might kick into autophagy or ketosis faster than Joe because you don't have a lot of visceral or stored fat that like your body's already like, the tank's already empty. Let me start killing these cancer cells. Like that might work for you. You know?
You might only need 24. You know what I mean?
Everything is nothing is in isolation either. It's like the whole picture. So like ultimately you're trying to achieve some sort of energy balance. So I have a buddy, he's so fucking active and he has so much muscle mass that the amount
Talking
of
about me.
I'm talking about Nick. The amount of calories he burns, this guy, he can eat a bowl of pasta every day and still be in ketosis. Because having like 100 grams of carbs
Is nothing.
is 0 carbs to the amount of muscle he has.
Well, that's also like runners too, right? That's why they say sometimes like you see those things where it's like if you really want a fat loss, sometimes running is not the right option for you because then you enter such a high need for energy refueling that you eat more.
And you're not ready to do that.
Or like people like Dwight Howard, where like if he doesn't eat 2 Big Macs before an NBA game, he feels like shit, which is the opposite for most people. But he's burning like 20,000 calories in an hour, so it's like
He needs it quick.
It's the whole energy balance. That's what you have to take in.
All these
picture.
dudes I used to know that are really muscly, they would always come into practice and they'd come and like eating McDonald's and we're like, bro, how are you gonna come wrestle like that? Like, how are you gonna go do that? Like,
But they almost need it.
yeah, and they go out there and they beat the shit out of everybody.
That's actually my artist homie. When we ramp up for tour, the entire like 6 weeks prior, it's like working out, eating right, looking a certain way. The day of the tour, it's Big Macs, hot wings, like it's just you go off and then
calories.
on stage you're just enjoying the shit out of it. You have the fuel and you have the energy.
damn, that's tight.
Yeah, so ultimately it's energy balance, which is how much you burn and how much you're eating. So you have to kind of take that whole thing into consideration, and then also your goal. If your goal is to put on size, put on muscle.
I have to eat more no matter what, huh?
Yeah.
For
you
you,
probably
you
gotta
probably
eat like
do.
You might not need
3,000.
this fast because for me, I wanted to regenerate my gut lining, and like I'm finding out.
That's something that I've been looking into as well as gut health, and it's probiotics, but also is the prebiotics too,
Kimchi,
right?
baby.
Use some kimchi with all your meals, you'll be fine.
and some Yakult.
Yakult.